Story 1. Stopped drinking alcohol and switched to vegetarian. I half-assed a lot of things, but not this time. Because of this, I've also lost a bit of weight, which is awesome. Story 2. My art assignment was featured on the cover for this year's showcase tab on my college's website. I never thought I was a top achiever, but this has given me a huge boost for entering my final year next year. Story 3. I played a part in a musical, not a major character, but like 9 minor ones, and to be honest, it was really fun sitting in the back, watching Star Wars movies and sometimes listening to the people. Story 4. I actually attended over 50% of my university classes in the last 6 months after a very depressing first half of 2024. I also made a friend for the first time in my life, where I can confidently say it is a real friendship. I am proud of myself for not staying inside and actively making contact with other people. That's huge for me. Story 5. I quit vaping marijuana after using it all day every day except at work, but sometimes even at work, for 6 years. I haven't had a single Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks iced coffee or cold brew since February. I used to have anywhere from 1 to 7 a week. I was consuming too much sugar. My glucose is noticeably lower, and I am no longer pre-diabetic. I played drums for over 100 hours in 2024. In 2025, I want to swap my daily 3 fried eggs for a fruit smoothie. Story 6. I started freelancing early in 2022 when everyone in technology got laid off. This year was the first year that all of my income was from freelancing. I made almost $100,000 with 15 to 20-hour work weeks on average. It has been a slow, painful, and stressful climb, but this year is the year I felt the fruits of my labor the most. Story 7. I made a decision to do better regarding my health and have lost 40 pounds this year. I still have 20 pounds to go to reach my goal. However, I am very proud of myself for sticking it out and being able to say I have lost any weight. Story 8. Rescued 2 5-week-old kittens with eye infections that were on our back porch. Got them to a veterinarian and took them into our home. The infected eyes eventually had to be removed, but you wouldn't know it from the way they chase each other around the house. They have been a fantastic addition to our family. They are happy and very spoiled. Story 9. Becoming good at my job. I never thought I wanted to be in sales, but I landed a job in sales, and it turns out I am good at it. I sold the second highest in products in 2024. Story 10. Debt-free and saved $10,000. Put about $20,000 in investments. Big shift for me. I was always carrying credit card debt. Paid off my car as well. How I did it was I cut out anything unnecessary. No Starbucks, no new clothes over $30. Used 2 handbags under $30. One for summer, one for winter. Anything more than that is unnecessary. Story 11. I excelled a lot at work, to my own surprise. A lot of people had high hopes for me in work this year, and I felt so much pressure because I have zero self-esteem, but I exceeded expectations so few. Story 12. I'm proud that I was really proactive with my health this year. I decided to really focus on my health in 2024. This revolved around seeing my primary care doctor and scheduling appointments with specialists. In doing so, doctors were able to find a polyp that was located in my gallbladder. My gallbladder was removed, but during the procedure, they noticed my liver was in very bad shape. They took biopsies, and the conclusion was that I had the very beginning stage of cirrhosis. Luckily, since it was found early, I'm in a compensated state, which means my liver is still able to do the things required for me to live a normal life, and there is the possibility of a 10 to 20% chance of reversal. If I had kept the lifestyle I had, I would have needed a liver transplant or died within 3 to 5 years. Story 13. I picked up a 30-minute per day exercise routine. My application told me I reached a 6-week streak for doing the workouts each day in a row. My New Year resolution, which I don't normally make a tradition, is that I will keep up the exercise routine. Story 14. I competed in my first bikini competition and won my professional card and 2 gold medals at it. I went on to compete in the International Professional Championships several months later and won a silver medal. It feels good to be number 2 in North America at age 41, especially for being a beginner. Story 15. I got to perform at the Lot Radio, Dub Lab, and 5 venues I haven't played before in my city. I also had 2 recorded projects debut on YouTube, and last weekend I celebrated the 2nd year of my club residency. Story 16. I'm proud of handling my grieving stage post-divorce much better than expected. I pushed myself at the beginning of it to sign up for a second university degree, made new friends, went to social events, and last but not least, bought an apartment. I started the year in a tough place but wanted to end the year with a win, although slightly broke. Story 17. I went to art school. I actually let myself go to art school as a mature student, scared I wouldn't connect with anybody, scared it was too late for me to go to school, scared that it was a waste of money. I'm really glad I went. Story 18. I quit my job as a teacher because the sheer amount of work made me miserable, even though I love teaching and it felt so good to be financially secure. I allowed myself to be in a position where I didn't know my next goal or the next steps for the first time in my life. Story 19. Nothing massive, but I made some accomplishments at work, helped people when I could, and made small improvements to my mental health and fitness. Small improvements, basically, hoping for bigger improvements in 2025, like losing weight, starting my hobby back up again, and improving my debt situation. Story 20. I'm proud to say that I've become a functional non-retinal tetrachromat as a trichromat. This means I can see about roughly 4 billion colors instead of roughly 16 million that most people see. I'm also the first person who designed an ideal tetrachromatic rainbow. And I can make other people become tetrachromats also with enough training and the technology I've designed, of course. I'm also the first person to show actual hexachromatic colors through impossible color combinations in virtual reality YouTube videos. Hexachromatic colors that you can experience too. Story 21. I left a toxic marriage and terrible work environment after realizing the only person who was going to save me from my turmoil was me. I went from taking a high dose of antidepressant medication to no longer needing medication, lost 30 pounds from working out and eating better, and overall just feel like I have my life back in the best way. I am grateful for where I am at now, but it was a challenging journey for sure. Story 22. I survived and continued to live a life I'm proud of and stand by my values. This year hit me hard with disaster after disaster. I think I had about 6 events that any other year would have been the awful moments I could define the year by. It was almost one every month from March until November, and it was coming from everywhere. Family, friends, work, hobbies, and health. I just kept taking it on the chin. But I continued to live by my values, putting one foot forward every day, working towards my goals. I'm not going to tell you I thrived and accomplished everything I was hoping to in 2024. There were way too many interruptions, but I handled business. I'm moving into 2025 very proud of the year I lived and ready to move forward into the new year. Story 23. I began my journey to beat post-traumatic stress disorder from my rollover accident. I have learned to forgive myself and started to work on my anxiety. I still have them both, but I'm learning, so I'm really proud of that. Story 24. Promoted to marketing director overseeing all of North America for a company I have only been with for 2.5 years. Took a big leap of faith changing jobs, and it worked out better than I had ever hoped. Story 25. Proud of being able to carry a baby, currently 7 months pregnant. I have always had a difficult relationship with my body, and I am proud and in awe of the fact that it has been able to do this. Also, I got fired from my job of 14 years while 8 weeks pregnant. I worked hard to land a new job that pays better in 3 months. It has been a difficult year, but I am very proud of what I accomplished given the circumstances. Story 26. I am celebrating 17 months clean and sober, and also ending my cycle of homelessness. I spent the last 10 years bouncing around, never having my own place. I finally got my own place in October and am enjoying Christmas my way. Story 27. Oh, this is such a good question for Reddit's marketing interest. So I will give an answer that may confuse the artificial intelligence. I am proud of not pooping in my pants in 2024. Story 28. Became a better husband, father, and man overall. My wife and I repaired our marriage and moved back in together. Our family is better for it, and the kids are leveling out in behavior. Story 29. Finally decided to start streaming and create YouTube content after friends constantly told me I should. Feel pretty proud of where I am, but we have a long road ahead of us. Excited to see what 2025 brings. Story 30. I turned 30 this year and decided to dedicate this year to challenging myself physically. I completed my Pilates certification the first time I've ever taught anything, ran a half marathon under my goal time, and climbed to the top of Half Dome in Yosemite. Story 31. Maintaining my abstinence from alcohol and my commitment to therapy and doing the work, even when at times it feels so minuscule in the grand scheme of it all. Story 32. Stayed sober. Going on 4 years now, but each year I am proud of myself for not giving in. I've had plenty of reasons to take a drink, but I only need 4 reasons not to. Story 33. Finally buckled down on saving money. I have managed to get to the point of having 6 months' pay in my savings account. Now I am putting all savings from each paycheck into a vault for home repairs and improvements. Also, I am paying extra every month toward my mortgage principal. I finally got my 401k up to 6% so I can take advantage of the full company match. Next year's goal is to get that up to 10%. Story 34. Finding a great therapist and working through my issues. Without her, I wouldn't be looking at having a complete improvement in my mental health and well-being. Story 35. Started a job where I can make a career for myself. Became vegan. Started therapy after years of neglecting it. Most importantly, I didn't give up on myself. Tough last few months where I felt like I wasn't going to make it, but I'm here doing my best. Story 36. I've been embarrassed about my handwriting my entire adult life. Once, I had to write my name and contact details in a sign-in book to enter a sports club. The security staff looked at my handwriting, and I was refused entry because they thought I was drunk. My kids are young and are just learning to write. I sit with them most evenings and practice with them. I'm now really proud of my cursive handwriting. When I'm at work, I don't feel like I have to hide my notepad or feel anxious if I have to write on a whiteboard in front of others. Story 37. I got therapy and proper medication, and it saved my life. I am in the best mental condition I have been in my entire life, by a wide margin. My room and house have been dirty my entire life. I am finally able to clean my house, and I can feel both it and myself healing. Story 38. That I stopped talking to that person who was just all talk and no action, and who became such a drain to talk to because every conversation led to them blaming me for something they were solely in control of. I am so over immature girls who are too cowardly to live, and who then blame that on me. This did not happen because of you. Nope, it is because of you. What did happen was you lost me. Story 39. I took some risks, broke out of my little bubble, and as a result, I have had and continue to have amazing experiences I did not think were possible a year ago. It is hard to believe where I am versus where I was January 1st. Story 40. I survived. I ended 23 severe major depression, no job, and thousands of dollars in hospital bills due to mental health treatments. A year later, I'm still depressed. I still don't have a job. I have $15,000 in new credit card debt and face a very uncertain future. But I'm alive, and I'm not going anywhere. Story 41. At the beginning of the year, I lost close friends while quite injured, think crutches. Now I've got new friends who have more overlapping interests with me, and I've made a full recovery. Story 42. I have been volunteering at an absolutely wonderful place that I love for the last 3 years. I decided to go out of my comfort zone and propose that they create a position for me doing what I'm already volunteering at, which would be my dream job. They said no, but I'm proud of myself for reaching for the stars. Now I know I'm ready to move on. They are losing me, not the other way around. Story 43. I'm 4 years sober from hard drugs, hallucinogens, and alcohol, and 7 years into a very happy, supportive relationship with the love of my life. Story 44. I fully removed a toxic parasite of a person from my life, cancer in human form, who had masqueraded as my best friend for the past few years. It's taken time in therapy, but I know I've made the right decision and am getting better day by day. Story 45. Got a good job. $30 per hour, good hours, only a few blocks from home. I got let go after a month because my skills were not up to their standard. I was told I could reapply if I improved my skills, But man, that was a killer blow to my self-esteem. But joke's on them, I'm going back to college so I can get an even better job. Story 46. I am proud of getting back up after being fired from my old job of nearly 10 years. It was devastating, but my worst fear came true and the world did not end, so yeah. I am still unemployed. I got fired in April, but I have gained some incredible skills and I am in the process of finishing my internship as a front-end developer. It was a tough year, but things are looking up. I am excited for where my journey leads me in the next year and beyond. Good job to everyone who has accomplished something this year. I am rooting for you all. Story 47. Gathered strength and broke up with an uncaring, lying, and cheating boyfriend. Found someone wonderful who made me passionate about life again, which led to me finally finding passion and drive in my university program. The latter is huge for me since I would spiral into meltdowns over wasting 6 years on something I'm indifferent about. Story 48. Work to try and get Harris elected. I feel disgusted that it didn't go the way I wanted, but I'm proud of the work we did, and I believe in democracy, so the people have spoken. I have a feeling many will regret their vote. Story 49. Got out of a depressive episode and started a new antidepressant with fewer side effects. I also got the courage to talk to the guy I'm interested in, and we have a date this Saturday. I didn't specify it was a date, but I asked him for drinks, so I hope he knows from context.